Bill, tell us how you spent your March vacation.
I started my March vacation spending 2 days on the road with Jeff Shevlin to go to the A&A in Colorado Springs. He was receiving multiple phone calls as we were driving from Sacramento to Salt Lake City and then Salt Lake City to Colorado Springs, that people that were coming to our so-called gathering afterwards were dropping out because a massive storm was supposed to hit Colorado Springs and Colorado, and flights were being canceled, etc. Um, we went through some heavy rainstorms, but no snow, and we woke up um, Wednesday morning to snow in Colorado Springs. And this is driving into the Broadmoor to set up. One of the fun things about going to shows is you see friends you only see once or twice a year. And Ken Brissett stopped by, as did his son Phil. And so we grabbed a quick shot with him. And as I was going around, I noticed this Dickinson trial scent, Judd C 1792-2, copper plated lead. Dickinson found or bought from the mint a reject for a treasury seal, and assumed that it was set up for a large scent, and that it was actually a trial piece, and he had the obverse die. This is obviously copper-plated lead. The copper is coming off. This is in Dickinson's book, various kinds of coins, and you'll see the quarter here, trial piece. Here's his eagle on a rock in the trial piece. The reverse trial piece designed for United States Cent 1792. This reverse die was created by Robert Lovett to go with the obverse die. Now, the only problem with this is that the original trial piece was struck in white metal, and there are a handful of copper pieces that are out there. They run $2,000 to $3,000 when you can find them. I told the dealer, well, I'll take a look at it, but I don't think I can afford it. When I turned it over, he had it marked for $95. I already knew it was a later copy, probably from 1860 or between 1860 or 1870. So for $95, it has a placeholder in my collection. After the show, we went on to Loveland, where we met with the so-called guys, and a couple people that are online with us here tonight were there. This is playing Jeff's game of Jeopardy, which is always amusing because one of the members knows everything and gets everything right. But at the end of our gatherings, we like to take some kind of field trip, and Jeff arranged for a VIP numismatic field trip to the U.S. Mint in Denver. And, it's well locked up. Just before your tour begins, the guards come out, line you up against the outside fence, hand out little trays where you take all the belongings out of your pockets and put in them to go through security. They say, turn your cell phone off, and if we see the cell phone out of the pocket, you'll be ejected from the mint. But for going in, you get a little souvenir before you start on the tour. You can recognize a cent and a blank cent. But we are at the Denver Mint, and if you pay very close attention, they were handing out 2023 Philadelphia cents as your souvenir of traveling the Denver Mint. But because we were a VIP tour, we were promised a surprise at the end, and we got to meet the director of the U.S. Mint. She had been at the ANA convention in Colorado Springs, and afterwards was at the Denver Mint, probably checking out things. And she gave us permission while we were with her to take our cell phones out and take selfies with her. And as soon as we were done, we had to go back into our pockets. Even though we were getting ready to exit the Mint, they still made sure we didn't take pictures. But to start this all off beforehand, I did go to the Santa Rosa show, and I didn't buy it at the Santa Rosa show, so I'll have one thing serious. I did, Jeff had acquired a collection of Hitler medals that was part of a bigger deal, and I said I would try to sell them. I sold a bunch of them, but I kept a few for myself, and this is one of them. This is a Carl Getz medal from 1933. This is a 60 millimeter medal in silver, and there are a few more, but this is the only one I'm going to show and end on. And so when Scott shows the Getz storage cabinet, you'll have some idea of what kinds of things were in them that I've kept in my collection, just because I wrote a book about Hitler medals years ago, sold my collection, and now I've got a few more for old time's sake.